dun, dun. The show's gonna start soon. Dun, 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 dun. How's the volume? Is the volume good? Some teacup ASMR before we begin. Licking the spoon. Hello, everybody. Oh, Martunovo. Hello again. You arrive and hear glass noises, yes. It's not actually glass, it's my Star Trek cup. My wonderful, lovely Star Trek cup. Pre-discovery, though. So the ships do not include USS Discovery or the Shenzhou or anything like that. Volume could go a little higher, but it's not bad. Okay, what volume? Is this like my mic volume or what? I've been having some trouble with my mic. Or rather, it's not a problem with my mic, it's more a problem... I'll push it up a bit. Let's see if that's better. Can't do much more than that to my mic unless I go into the mic settings and so on and so forth. But welcome everyone to the stream. I'm not sure how long I'm going to stream, but I'm feeling good. Just played a game of Fog of Love. And that was... Are you drinking milk tea tonight? No, I'm not making that mistake today. Especially since we've blessedly run out of tit milk. This is just puer. Your run-of-the-mill puer. Fermented black tea, basically. But I still put some sugar in it. So it's not the perfect beverage for voice acting work. Yeah. Let's see if I can actually remember how to play this damn game. Controller things. Actually, one thing I'll do for my personal comfort is I will turn down the volume a little bit. Okay, that's much better. Oh yeah, gotta do that. There we go. Okay, so how was everyone's Christmas time, or the, winter solstice, or darkest day of the year, whatever it was? Mine was nice and relaxing for the most part. Too much sugary food, though. So I'm sort of paying the dues later on. But yeah, let's load the game. Marturo, help with the cooking, so it was a busy day. Oh, I can imagine. We didn't do all that much. We had some food prepped, and ready to go. And then we did make this this bowl of seitan, like my favorite food, in taste, texture, and name. It is really lovely. A really lovely sort of minty seitan. And I finished it tonight, actually, the last of it. Nice and convenient. Da-da-da-da. Okay. New surroundings. We did a bit of exploring and went on with the plot a bit. We delivered the wheat to the castle, and then got sent to the war camp. But let's see what the logbook has to say about this. It's a good way for me to sort of warm up. Oh, hello, Dalexi. Great to have you with us. The storyline. Call to battle. Let's see what chapter 2 had to say. Oh, we met the Ravager for one thing. Okay, I'll start with where should I start? Okay, last session we started at the village where the bandits were doing their thing. So let's start with the second to last paragraph. Siding with the villagers to hang them. They're talking about bandits, apparently. Siding with the villagers to hang them strengthened my image as a people person, as well as eliminated any potential risks. That was a good move. Let's hope my luck keeps up with this. So that's the one dubbed as Ravager. There's something about him that seems to tug at me. A feeling of fear, as if looking at a predator who can rip you apart in a few seconds. I wonder how Lucian can survive this long being near him. Yeah, we had an interesting discussion about nepotism in hierarchical structures when it came to that. But then we entered chapter 3, the call to battle. Yeah, this is basically when we came to this war camp. So those are Lady Belenus and the Seneschal. One resides in Godland, the other in the Seat of Justice. Both in the Great Plains where my village was, and still we were milked to death by the nobles. What use are great warriors if they can't bring prosperity to the people? What use are their titles if they can't get their peers to uphold justice? The Geraldines are the kind of people I never want to get close to. They put on a nice and pious mask, but choke their people as close to death as they can. I know. My village was one among many who were under such nobles. Oh, we had a very interesting encounter with the Geraldines, with Arya's father and brother, and they. It was quite obvious how Arya ended up the way she is. Her brother almost ended up in a duel with Reynard de la Forêt, our resident berserker. And I so would have loved to have been able to kick the brother's ass. But no. The daddy came and interrupted everything. And he's an asshole as well. so you know. Brooding over the past won't get me anywhere. I'd better find Serato, who'll give us directions on how to scout the Enders. He should be an easy find if he's still in that offensive coloured attire. Yeah, the Serato is a... not a very glamorous character. He's quite rotund and not very militant and so on. As you can see here, Lord Arthur Durandal is a third born of House Durandal and next in line to the seat of Farblade. Skilled in neither combat nor warfare and tends to avoid social events, he prefers to dwell in the art of music and poetry, much to the dissent of his people. Most view Serato as undependable, lazy, even borderline useless, and many fear that his ascent to the seat of Farblade would speak ill for the Durandals. Though in title he bears the responsibility of leading some of the Durandal's White Knights, in practice he leaves it all to his sister Lilu, the current lady of Farblade. And then we met Lord Severin LaRue, Lucien's famed uncle. Baron Severin LaRue, the second born of his house, is a prodigy of combat and tactical warfare. To gain his nobility, he squired outside of the Old North under Lord Galwin the Hawk-Eyed. Soon after he returned to be knighted, his sister Selene died in the 18 Years' War, and he took the reins of House LaRue. Known as the Ravager for his iron hands approach in commanding, under his rule the Red Wolves has become stronger than ever in keeping peace and prosperity in the Levant realm. Severin's unbroken record of never losing a single war he leads is a legend that reverberates in the entire queendom. Yeah. Gotta love a competent killer. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing we know. The only Umpara says the only fat person in the whole game is a useless waste of space. Such a fresh take. Yeah, that always seems to be the case. That if there's someone who's physically unfit, they are also morally destitute and utterly useless. They're the comic relief, which is always lovely. There is a possibility that the villain, like Kingpin, is in Daredevil comics, is a very interesting example. Although he is physically really capable. But then again, okay, superhero stuff. Physical ability, your ability to affect the physical world and assert your dominion over it is pretty much all that it is. Superhero stuff tends to reduce all problems into a form that you can beat up and therefore assert your dominance over them. Like in okay, potential minor spoiler for Avengers Endgame, I think it is. Not a major spoiler, but yeah, Captain America is running this peer support group for men who have been left alone and feel powerless. That's like the first thing Captain America has been actually a constructive part of society. Before that, he was just beating up people. Like, humans are really good at inflicting violence upon each other already. You don't really need superpowers for that. You just need organization for that. But there, the guy was doing something actually genuinely useful. But yeah, more people we met at the camp. Lady Marianne of the Belenus. Countess Marianne Belenus is the Lady of Godland, the wielder of the sacred sword Faithkeeper, and the High Commander of the Church of Deus Valarus. Though knighted by birth, she went to squire under Lord Galwin the Hawk-Eyed in order to secure her place as heir to the Belenus against her 8 siblings. Lady Belenus is known as an exceptional duelist and a master of the rapier. After conceiving 3 children from her 5 husbands, her health is significantly dropped and she has been slowly withdrawing from commanding her armies in the front lines. Instead, she focuses on political issues and less physically demanding tasks. Yeah, that's an interesting take that the game has actually about, in this case, polyandry. One woman having several husbands. Actually, this didn't come up in dialogue, this drop in health. Which, okay, that's one thing that sort of is something of a trope in fantasy literature and media, that you have the dangerous childbirth and the negative effects of labor. They stand in the sort of medieval sense that we're used to, because it produces drama. It produces those traditional hero background stories, origin stories, where the mother died in childbirth and the father was killed by the villain, and then the hero ended up being fostered by someone else, and then finds out about the monomyth thing. Joseph Campbell has a lot to say about this. But these are worlds that have extraordinary healthcare available. Healthcare beyond anything we have currently with our technological development. And here we have Lady Marianne of the Belenus, who has access to all of it. That like including resurrection from the dead. But we still have those same tropes, because we are sort of used to inflicting violence for on women for the sake of drama. Apparently childbirth on its own isn't dramatic enough. And of course, because the usual protagonist is male, they're not going to give birth. So, and the audience is assumed to be ones that can't really identify with the experience of giving birth. So, why include it, really? The miracle of life and death. Yeah, there is something about that exchange and the guilt involved. And also it offs a character that would have to be developed and so on and so forth. But yeah, enough about that. Okay, a bit of a note. Use of the rapier in a setting that has full plate armor. Yeah, not necessarily the best possible weapon. Although, if it's a really good penetrating rapier, then it might make some sort of sense. But anywho, she focuses on political issues and less physically demanding tasks. You know, something that a ruler or governing person should do. Interesting. And Rosaval. A big bear of a man. Seneschal Rossval of the Arbiters. Seneschal Rossval is the Seneschal of the Arbiters, and therefore by title is the most powerful person in the hierarchy of the Old North. Born Thedas Rossval, he squired under Lord Galvin the Hawk-Eyed, along with Severin LaRue, to gain his knighthood. He joined the Arbiters as House Rossval crumbled in debts and political pressure, and chose his now obsolete house's name as his new name. At 7 feet tall, Rossval is a towering giant among men. In combat he wields a great axe that, combined with his unparalleled strength, is said to be able to cleave through a number of foes in a single strike. Yeah, again, a very interesting thing. The Arbiters, they basically take the black. They are supposed to forsake their power and authority in their noble houses, even though they are all of noble birth. But they supposedly give up all their power and authority. But what we have here is someone who basically hides in the Arbiters. His house went down, and he sort of seems to be using the Arbiters as something of a refuge, to the extent that he actually took the name again. So much for that principle. Umbra says, perhaps the rapier is only used in duels. I didn't meet this person, though, so I don't know. Could be. Like a thrusting sword can be rather good at penetrating armor, but its fantasy doesn't really matter that much. It can be a magic rapier. Okay, let's see if there's something in the factions that we... The Inquisition! We encountered the Inquisition last time. The Order of the Inquisition is the military hand of the Church of Deus Valarus. Though formally an extension of the mainland Queendom's order, like its parent order, its branch in the Old North operates in a largely independent manner, and its methods are often strikingly different. To protect the faith from any and all threats is the most important duty of the Order. While the mainland Order considers strength of arms as the least preferred approach in performing its duties, in the Old North such methods are often used as the default. As a subsidiary of the Church, the Order's leadership lies with the Synod of the Deus Valarus, blurring boundaries between the two. Due to its members retaining rights of their noble houses, sometimes conflicts of interest would lead the Order being used and controlled for personal profits. Oh, come on. As if that doesn't happen in the Inquisition. In the Arbiters, sorry. In fantasy, it's enough if you believe in the heart of the sword. Indeed. It is not what's here that matters. It's what's here that matters. Yeah, well, church and state do tend to sort of support each other in these things. Okay, now we've warmed up a bit. Let's see, but actually, let's see what the gang is at the moment. I switched in Arya and Renard last time. I don't know, I don't think the party composition actually affects the dialogue in any way. Although in the encounter with the Geraldines, Arya and Renard were the active parties, and they were in the active party at the same time. But I do believe that is coincidence. I can't remember from my previous playthrough if that was the case. Oh, actually, I did have Arya and Renard in the party at that time as well. So, who knows? maybe the thing is different with different characters. Probably not. I hope not, because that would be really taxing to write. We gained a lot of abilities. Actually, did we end up in a situation where... Yeah, we ended up in a situation where we had to toss out some abilities in favor of others. Because you can only have 4 active and 2 passive skills. But don't you worry, everyone's pretty much what they were before. Okay. There's some shops here and so on and so forth. Now, point of interest, the banners mark tents that belong to important characters. Let's see what he says. Lord Severin, Lady Belenus, and Seneschal Roosevelt are currently having a meeting. Unless you have something terribly important to convey, please do not bother them. I'm not important enough for that. Actually, did we have a... No, we weren't given anything in the logbook saying what we should do. Ooh, there's this guy again. Squires, it's good to see you again. As you can see, Lord Levant himself isn't joining the army. I'm here on his behalf. But I don't think it gives the same impact for the soldiers. I hope Lord Severin can keep up the morale. It won't be an easy task, even for him. Okay, but there's Arthur. The fat and lazy and useless. And with no sense of fashion. But yeah, let's talk. Yeah, Mr. Vizier guy. Long time no see, squires. Are you the scouts the Lord General sent? That's right. All right, I guess you'll do. Lord General Severin asked for an overall assessment of the surrounding area. For that, we need to look at things from higher ground. And that place would be the Needle. The Needle? It's a tall peak pointing north. The name comes from its long, pointed shape. That would indeed be a good vantage point to see the whole White Plains. Oh, you studied the maps well, I see. I just enjoy reading, sir. To reach the Needle, you must go northwest until you find the Grey Forest. The rocky path leading to the Needle can be found within the forest. But be careful. A fierce, large beast roams the Grey Forest. I don't fear any beast. You should with this one. The Grey Giant is fierce and formidable. It's blind but has very, very sharp hearing. We must step lightly then. Do not make any noise that awakens it. What? Let's just draw its attention and hit it with all we have. I'm sure the soldiers will appreciate some more meat in their dinner. Please, Renard, if you'd like to tempt death, don't ask us to tempt. Please, Renard, if you'd like to tempt death, don't ask us to tag along. Listen to me, squires. No matter what happens, don't fight with the Great Giant. You may think that you're strong, but believe me, You're not ready yet. I wish you luck, squires. Luck we doth not need, only the deus. I like voicing Renard. It's a very sort of Lannis voice. Fortis Lannis. Strong, weak. Which means that Fortis is like P and K, and Lannis would be G. And the Lannis is so much easier to perform. Oh, let's check out the tents. Loot the tents. Oh, no. Well, we have tents to raid. Oh, there's a collectible up there. This seems to be the female squire's tent. I shouldn't be here. But this tent is so nice. I wonder how those girls can be so neat and tidy. Arya, Lucienne, and Camille may be used to organizing things due to their backgrounds. But Iliane, I'd expect her sheets to have more than 6 different colors by now. Okay, fair. Personally, my experience of women being more tidy than men doesn't really hold beyond like individual. There might be an average somewhere, but in my circle, it's not. The averages between genders don't really make much of a difference, or are rather the same, or at least so close to each other that individual variation sort of makes it moot. Alright, time to leave now. Shouldn't be here in the first place. I seem to remember that there were like unisex quarters somewhere at some point. Nothing to collect. It was interesting to see in... I made a note of this before. I think it was after the bandit... In the village where we had the bandit thing. That they'd hidden... combat equipment in those places and basically encouraged you to basically go through everyone's things. I still want to check out these. Nope. Nothing. Aha. Ritual blade. That's for Arya. Has to be for Arya. Okay, increases healing but reduces damage. Yeah, let's give her a ritual blade. These supplies are property of House Belenus and its army. Unless you have permission from the lady herself, please leave the vicinity immediately. Well, sure. Did I go here already? Phew. Yes, apparently. Okay. Let's see what's here? Ooh, this is the... Ooh, bright red crystal. The clerics. The mind and soul define us, yet they are nothing without the vessel that is our body. Oh. Healing. Thy wounds are cleansed. May Deus keep thy hearts brave and thy minds clear. "'Tis not my first time participating in the front lines, but never on a scale such as this. I am no battle priest, thus my part is merely to tend the wounded and provide crystals." May the dose always be with thee, squires. They are... Yeah, the biblical language is a bit curious. I wonder if this has unlocked. "Greetings, squires. My name is Edith, and I'm the army's blacksmith. I can turn your weapons into masterpieces, but it's hard to do in a limited space like this." Okay. Here we see the options in upgrading stuff. Okay, the attack bonus is quite considerable with these. Here's a question. Who do we want in the team? In the active party? Renard would actually be really good at it because if we're going to be dealing with beasts. Actually, Lucian has some armor now. That. Be safe out there, squires. Your weapons might be sharp, but it's no reason to let your guard down. Wait a moment. Oh, Ilian got wolfskin mantle. No, that wasn't the thing. Someone had an accessory that gave bonuses against... No, Hunter's Hide. Yeah, Hunter's... Lucian used to have Hunter's Hide. But... I gave her the spiked armor. Fits her role better, and then gave Hunter's Hide to a Renaud. There's a collectible honor medal, Bergeron or Bergeron. Whatever, let's head out. Okay. Or we could just wander off to Farblade if we wanted to. Okay, actually, we haven't seen this part of the world map yet. I want to sort of poke about just to see what's where. Montcalm, White Rock Hills, Farblade, Anon Taure, where the anarcho-communist elves live. Longtooth Pass. But we can't actually access any of these. We can only go to the Grey Forest. Let's save. Yeah, let's Actually, create a new one. There we go. Hola! Let's see what we have. Aria gains shield, negates the next 3 attacks, or up to half maximum HP. Awaken, revives fallen ally, restores 50 HP. I'm just wondering if I want to... Actually, I'll just attack first and see what happens. I'll shatter this one, and I think Renaud can finish him off. Or it. Double damage with a chance to miss. I think the chance to miss is actually 50%. Frantic charge. Yeah, I'll just put in a normal attack. Didn't bring him down. Ooh, that's not good. I'll have to heal. Okay, Benediction heals all allies, but yeah. Oh yeah, I removed Provoke from Renaud. So that means he doesn't aggro quite as well. Frantic charge. Yeah, let's finish. I'm fairly sure this'll kill it. That's the way to do it. Since I'm playing on easy mode, I don't really have to worry about health as long as no one drops. Din, 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 din. Oh no, the wolf dying sound hurts my heart. Good. Okay. Okay. I would like to rage. Oh, Renaud got bleed. Let's see what good that that did. Renaud can handle himself. And besides, I can just awaken. Awaken him. Oh! There we go. Well done, Arya. Oh, and Isaac is bleeding now as well. And hurt rather badly. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Now I think I'll do Benediction. Just to make sure that no one drops. New abilities. Camille, Arya, and Isaac. Let's see what they do. Pointed thrust deals damage to target enemy with a good chance to inflict poison for 3 turns. I think... might be good instead of Toxic Touch. Yeah. I'll switch it out. Because I haven't used Toxic Touch much, because you miss a turn because of it. So it's just not really worth it. But yeah, Arya got Deus's Wrath. Let's see what it does. Deals damage to target enemy, inflicts silence for 3 turns. Now that could be really useful. Could be really useful at some point, because silence prevents them from using skills. Actually, I'll switch out protection. Because we'll probably have a better tank on hand anyway. And then there's Camille. Camille had a Foist. Let's see what Foist does. Deals damage to target enemy, extra pierce damage if target is inflicted by bleed. Okay. Bleed is the thing that sharpened bolts causes. Now the thing is that 5 stamina is quite a lot. Because if I use sharpened bolts, that reduces my stamina by 1 from 3 to 2. That means that I'd have to wait for 3 turns or do 3 normal attacks to have access to Foist. That's a bit tricky. So it's not something that can be like done that you smack a sharpened bolt and so on. I'd need a buddy to give me actually Isaac. No, Isaac doesn't do bleed, unfortunately. No one does. Oh! Renaud gains bonus damage when his stamina is above 6. Would be good to remember. Increases target ally's stamina by 3. Okay, so Camille and Ilian could be a good combo. Actually, Ilian and Renaud would be a good combo as well. But yeah, would need more bleed stuff to actually be useful here. So not using Foist yet. I could of course switch it over with Observation because I haven't used that one. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Let's stick with those characters for the time being. Actually, if we're in the woods, we would want Ilian in the party. So let's switch them out. Ilian for Arya. Stamina boost. Actually, I can boost Renaud's stamina. Like so. Ouch. Then I can inflict Shatter on... Let's see. That did a crit up 50%, so I'll want it to go down. And then we can do... Oh. Yeah, I can actually drop this one, probably, if I do the primal charge. That lowers Renard's hit points, but that's okay. Oh, 1,300. Ouch, that's quite a lot. Let's focus on that one, because I can't do anything about the other one. Okay, that one was about to go down. We'll see if we can do something about that. Yeah, we want... Yeah, let's drop that one. No! It didn't drop. Bloody hell. Yeah. Good. Okay, this is bad. Whew, good. They didn't do anything of... Okay, pointed thrust. That one's got defense down. Okay, I'll give this one a poke. Ooh, right up the butt. Everyone's bleeding. Wide swing would be rather nice, but I can't really do it now. What I really want to do is drop this one. No, still nothing. God damn. Oh, okay. Ilian doesn't have a healing thing directly. They have to drop. The ally has to drop before Nature's Caress can be used. But she does have a passive ability that regenerates her hit points every turn. Volley, what might be nice? I'll try to bring this one down, because that would be a real... No, still nothing. This is not good. It's not good. Bleeding, and that bastard's gonna strike. I'll just try to attack it. Okay, good. But then again, the poison might have killed it anyway. Half of current HP. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And another animal has been successfully vanquished. Yeah, can't get Arya's booties wet. Ooh, something new. Puck. Bunch of pucks. I wanna see what happens if we boost Renard and then... Blim! Okay. Shatter on that one. I want to do a wide swing. Only 2 enemies, but still. It's sort of satisfying. Okay, so that one was defending. Presumably. My attacks are sort of all over the... Okay, what did that do? Blind. I wonder what blind does. Probably a mischance. Oh, then I don't really want to use up stamina. Actually, what I'll do is defend. And Reynard has been silenced as well. Oh, that's okay. Still gonna kick ass. Miss. Fairy dust. So now they're all okay, all blind, and everyone but Ilian is silenced. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. I'll just... Okay. Defense down there. Let's see what we can do about that. Okay, they don't do that much damage. That was a critical hit, but still under 100. Okay, I've got stamina, so I'll just try and give up. Nah. Nothing. I'll just keep attacking. And hope. Oh! Oh! That didn't really take much. Yeah. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. The nice thing about silence is that then you don't need to think about what you're going to use. Are there any collectibles here? I'm sort of surprised that we don't have any collectibles here. It's exactly the sort of place that would have collectibles. Stamina boost to Reynard. This time I'll keep him at 6 or more, just to see how it goes. Okay, Wild Axe takes 2, so I don't want to use that. Bang. Ah, decent enough damage. They'll be able to take a lot of damage as well. Oh, well, I actually have to make sure that Ilian doesn't run out of... Oh. Stamina. I wonder how much damage poison does. Actually, oh yeah, the poison attack, the pointed thrust, is pointed right up the tuchus. Oh, apparently it was a waste inflicting that poison. Oh well. Now let's just keep attacking methodically. Actually, I'll defend with Ilian to get rid of some of the aggro. That's that one. Oh. Isaac isn't feeling well. Okay, the situation is this. I might have to bring one of them down anyway, so I'll use a frantic charge and try to inflict as much damage on this one as possible. See if I'm lucky. Yeah. It came down right away. And then with luck we can bring down this one that has defense down. Or should I defend? I think I'll defend. There we go. Good. Go for Renard. He'll just bite back. Wolf pelt claws. We actually got some honey. Got some honey from the previous one. Okay, they can't take that much damage. So what I'll try... let's give stamina boost to Renard. Because then he can inflict a lot of damage. I'll want to drop one of them. Yeah, let's just do frantic charge on this one. Down in one. Shatter on this one. Ilian joins the party. Okay. Okay, everyone's blind and silenced. Isn't that lovely? But the pucks can't take that much damage, so let's just try to bring them down. Bloop. Haha. Renard unlocks Trophy Collector. Isaac unlocks Life Leech. And Ilian unlocks Nature's Blessing. Okay, let's see what those are. Dun dun dun. Successful attack will restore small amount of HP. Or has a small chance to evade an attack. Okay, Swift Steps has the advantage that it can affect a lot of things. But this one always succeeds. Let's do Life Leech. Seems like a Isaac-y thing to do. Okay, Nature's Blessing. All allies start each battle with extra +1 stamina. Yes, please. Dawn Treader merely improves initiative, which is rather good to begin with. Then Trophy Collector. No stamina gains from attacking. Killing an enemy will give Reynard 3 stamina points. I don't think so. At least not yet. Maybe... once we're out of the woods, maybe then replace Tempered in Combat with Trophy Collector, but until then, no. Oh, there's something... Ooh, there's a collectible thing here. Serpent Skin Garb. Heavy armor. Let us see. What does it do? Defense 30, poison resistance 25%. Sounds like in... yeah. Spike armor is really good for Lucian, so... give it over to Arya. I think I have to sell out those old armors and stuff. Have no use for them. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, I now have volley available at turn 1. That's nice. Well, that's 3 times more damage than normal. I can... yeah, let's do it. Because we can. Pointed thrust. Ooh. Right up the tuchus. Well, frantic charge is always fun. And it also takes out one of the attackers, so that's 1/3 less damage from them. Let's keep attacking. That one's weaker. Burst attack. I'm fine with the result. The party doesn't give a puck. No, it doesn't. What we got here is a lone wolf. And then there were none. It is a thing about these sort of fantasy adventure thingies that you always end up killing shit tons of animals. I suppose it's simply a matter of them not mattering that much. They don't really have value. Although I do like the fact that the game did question this in the first session. That was nice. It was refreshing. Is that worth it? No, it's not really worth it. Frantic Charge is worth it. animals and, well, orcs. Also, sort of nice fantasy for the. If you notice that for some reason in all fantasy adventure games, the animals are really aggressive. You always end up killing animals in self-defense, which seems a bit strange. Oh, there's a monster and a willpower amulet. Let's see what the willpower amulet does. +1 starting stamina each battle. Okay, yes. This one goes to Renard for now, because that enables him to start with the wide swing. And then, cuckoo. I'll try crouch. I want to see what it does. Let the others do their volleys and whatnot. Blim. Okay, so apparently Ilian's regeneration is about as much as the bleed. But yeah, volley. And then wide swing. Kick all their asses. Didn't drop a single one. Now that's not like good. I want to see if... Okay, excellent. Brought one down. Now let's see if we can bring this one down as well. Excellent. And then keep whacking him. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard then. The crouch didn't really do much. The animals know what you did, Reed. Yeah, and they wouldn't really care now, would they? A small white crystal, some honey, some fairy dust, wolf pelts, claws. The loot is getting better. Honey. We get honey. Go all Winnie the Pooh. But one of my favorite mods of all time was animal behavior for Morrowind, because Chaplet of Vigor. What does the Chaplet of Vigor do? Health plus 200. Ilian, why don't you have a Chaplet of Vigor? Oh, actually, that... No, yeah. Okay, I'm not sure about this. Ilian can resurrect, so her having a lot of hit points would be good. On the other hand, Renard kicks a lot of ass because of the frantic charge. Having plus 200 health would mean plus 100 of damage. Okay, but that's only for one attack. Yeah, let's give it to Ilian. Oh. But yeah, the animal behavior mod modifies the behavior patterns of all the animals, because in in vanilla Morrowind, all the animals were after your ass. They're gonna kill you. That was what they did. And that sort of sucked. Because, like, not only was it sort of unrealistic and, you know, the that every single moving thing is after you and is trying to kill you, but in addition, it's really, 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 really boring because of the cliff races, which are basically like pterodactyls or like predatory saurians, flying beasties, and they'd spot you from a good distance away, and then they'd you get the battle music, and then they start hunting you down, and they inch closer, and they try to move in, and if they're not dangerous, they're always annoying, because the battles take a really long time, because they it was hard to get to the proper distance to attack, and that sort of thing. So the animal behavior mod modified those animals, and also made the whole thing more consistent in its lore, because the game, like in vanilla mode, had modifiers for different animals anyway. You'd have your normal animals, then you'd have your diseased animals, and then you'd have your blighted animals. So instead of all of them behaving in exactly the same way, the mod made them specific. So that blighted animals, because they're blighted, they'd always attack you, as per normal. Then the diseased animals, most of them would still attack you, but not all of them. Like a diseased mud crab, for instance, wouldn't attack you unless... no, diseased animals, on the whole, generally speaking, would not attack you unless you attack them. Normal animals, if they're predators, they would attack you if you attack them, but if they are not predators, then they'll actually flee. Of course, actually, some of them, like Nyx hounds and so on, were so predatory and so aggressive that they would attack you no matter what their label was. But yeah, some abilities. Who got abilities? Sparks of Life. Ally revived with Awaken gains 2 stamina instead of 0. That would be... increases the amount of heal from crystals. Haven't used crystals. With Sparks of Life I won't have to use crystals. Duelist stance. Small chance to perform a counterattack after being attacked. Additional... yeah. Replace defensive stance with duelist stance. Because defensive stance only applies when you defend. And defending also lowers the aggression they have toward you, so you can't do that forever. Okay, let's see. Camille. Physiology study. Add 1 turn to all status inflicted by Camille. Camille gains immunity to blind and silence. Camille would actually be rather good against those pucks, but they haven't been a problem yet. Recently anyway, so... so I might as well... Actually, I'm not sure now. Would those status in... Because they probably wouldn't expire anyway. So no. Nope. And that's everything. So, yeah, so animal behavior mod, really like that one. Okay, shatter that one. Then it does its thing, and then we volley and wide swing. Hopefully bring down that one puck. That one pucker. Oh, I actually should have put it on the other puck, because now it actually got a turn. And silence and blind on Ilian and Renard. Wonderful. Wonderful. Actually, the puck is the least dangerous for some time now. Okay, Shatter won't do that much now because they have missed chances. So I'll use... Okay, that one's a... No, wait a minute. Is that one defending? The one in front? Yeah, the one in front is defending. Pointed thrust on that one. Ooh. The dying sound doesn't really affect me, but the colonic attack, that is a bit unpleasant. But yeah, the wolf is defending, so I don't want to waste my time there. The attacks wouldn't do that much damage anyway. Okay, that's still blind. Pointed thrust on the puck. No, wait a minute. I should have just attacked the wolf, because... Okay. It came out well in the end. Haha. Loot. I have no idea how to pronounce that one. Aegerobe. Let's see what the Aegerobe does. Defense plus 30, initiative plus 5. That would be good for Ilian. Bleed resistance. Actually, bleed resistance doesn't make much sense for Ilian. Yeah, she's fine anyway. Oh, okay. Camille only has the... When in doubt, use Finnish pronunciation. Yeah. Aigre shirt. Aigre robe. Yeah, Finnish pronunciation does have its advantages. It's consistent. Yeah, but I do want to give it to Ilian, because that just makes the most tactical sense. And then put the wolfskin mantle on Camille. There we go. And more animals to vanquish. Oh, well. Various beasties. My idea is that, if necessary, I can boost Reynard with Ilian to high stamina, and then Reynard can bring some of them down. Let's do burst attack on... Okay, let's try that one just in case I can bring it down. Yeah. That sort of devalues the wide swing. And actually, let's just do a frantic charge. Bring it down. Pointed thrust. Oh! Ooh, a magenta crystal as well. One of those status removing things. Okay, didn't think this through. Ilian gained aggro. Okay. They didn't attack, they just... Okay, if I burst attack here, then Renard's wide swing will probably... has a decent chance of bringing the top dog down. There we go. Then just poke at them until they're all dead. That's like the finest tactics. Poke and kill. Okay, Isaac, Camille, and Ilian have some... Okay, cleanse. That would remove status effects. No. Da, 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 da. Enmity. Let's see, what does enmity do? Deals damage to target enemy. Extra damage if target is a humanoid. Haven't run into any humanoids. Actually, I'll switch out crouch. Is it? Yeah. Makes you lose a turn, so it doesn't. It's not quite as good. And it still consumes quite a lot of stamina. But cleanse cures poison and bleed from target. Okay, deals massive damage to enemies in a line. Not quite as useful. Yeah, we will go with that. And Camille got something, I think. Yeah, explosive bolt. Deals damage to all enemies with a good chance to inflict bleed for 3 turns. Lots and lots of bleed. Okay, now. With Ilian's help, she could get that in you. Yeah, actually. There we go. Lots of bleed. Camille, you're nasty. you from acting at all. Oh. Poor Wolfie. Camille does seem like the quietly kinky type, indeed. She does strike me as the one most likely to write a really kinky fanfic. Okay, save point. Or say our outskirts. It is an aura. Okay. Illy senses something weird. What is it you sense, Illy? Is it something dangerous? Illy can hear the sound of something. She believes that it's breathing. Slowly. Is it the grey giant that Sir Arthur told us about? Maybe. Illy can't tell for sure. Finally, some action! The critters around here are starting to bore me. Not the only one. Quit thy shouting, Renard. The beast would hear thy voice. Do you hear that? Sounds like it's too late for silence. Is it down there? Watch out! Behind you! Dun, da, da. And cut to battle. I was sort of expecting that we'd have an opportunity to actually avoid this fight. But no such luck. Okay. Renard can do frantic charge to begin with. No, actually, I'll do volley. Others. Yeah. Da-da-da. Yeah. Volley and then a wide swing and the burst with Isaac. See what comes of it. Oh. Okay, good. Good. Yeah, burst attack on that one. See if we're lucky. Yeah. Down it goes. Yeah, now we just keep attacking that one. Okay, now lower its defense. That would be nifty. Actually, first let's do... No, wait a minute. Add one stamina. I'll do Shatter. I want to bring the Alpha Wolf's defenses down. And then... Let's see, if I defend now... If I defend now with Renard, Ilian can stamina boost up to 5 and then... No, actually, if I attack, still Ilian can stamina boost up to 4 and then Renard can do the frantic charge. Ah, it was a moot point anyway. Lucien unlocks Realm Protector. Arya unlocks Remedy. Renard unlocks Berserk. Ooh, Totem of the Wolf. Actual equipment. Is it? I was expecting a cutscene after that. Let's see. Totem of the Wolf. 100% bleed resistance. For some reason, Ilian seems to end up with bleed quite often. She does attack first, so yeah, let's give her the Totem of the Wolf. At least for the time being. Are there any collectibles about? A boot? Nope. Look, look! We can see the entire hills to the north from here. How can you still be so lively after all that climbing? Moreover, the branches and gravel. Do thy feet not feel the ache?
Quit whining, you two. Your pretty little legs probably need some exercise anyway. I, for one, liked the hike. The forest air reminded me of home.
It's similar to Ely's home too. There were also lots of naughty fairies near Anon Taure.
Naughty, you say?
Okay, a different reading. Reading here would be, it's similar to Ely's home too. There were also lots of naughty fairies near Anon Taure. Focus now. We're here to scout out the World Enders, not for some picnic. Look, there they are.
Aren't they big and barbaric looking?
There's so many of them. Ely can see at least 100 of them marching those hills. Where do you think they're all heading for? Out of there and into our realm, that's for sure. But with so many of them, do we even have a chance of winning this? They may have both strength and numbers, it's true. But there's ample chance for our victory. Don't cower now, Camille. Are you going to lose the battle before it starts? World Enders. So that's what they look like. Even to just stand in front of one without fleeing would require immense courage. Illy agrees. Even from here, she already feels intimidated by their presence. No, that's a weird reading. Illy agrees. Even from here, she already feels intimidated by their presence. Worry not, Ilian. Our soldiers are well trained and confident. A ragtag band of barbarians is no match for an organized army. There's nothing like the conceitedness of the wealthy and powerful to protect one from reality. I wonder if that's true, though. That they're a ragtag band, I mean. They march without ranks, but they do follow an ender with red clothes. That means at least some form of chain of command exists among them. And this thunderous chorus of theirs. It seems like a form of war cry. A war cry? This crude heathen chanting? Cries can take many forms. They're effective at raising morale and threatening enemies. It's a basic army behavior. A mere random mob is unlikely to make such a concerted effort.
She hasn't been to a party now, has she? Like the most disorganized student party, the singing will... something approaching singing, some sort of rhythmic noise-making will emerge. What's with all the worried looks, everyone? They may number by the dozens, but we have hundreds in our ranks. Not only that, we also have the Ravager and the Sacred Swords on our side.
Wars are never that simple, Renard. We have to think about the casualties as well.
What could be so hard about fighting anyway? Just charge and swing and it's done. There'd be casualties, of course, but it's all for the glory, right?
Is that all these men and women in our ranks mean to you, Renard the Prodigy? Are they all expendables? Bodies to throw away so you can claim the glory... I mentioned this before. K-G combination. Not my forte. Are they all expendable? Bodies to throw away so you can claim the glory for yourself?
Hey, what did you accuse me for? I never said anything like that.
And you think these soldiers will fight with you side by side? Don't be naive. Commoners will be put at the spearhead. They'll soften the enemies for nobles like you to finish. Even if we win this war, nobles like us will get all the glory. And then, what's left for them? Only sons and daughters who'll never come back to the arms of their parents. If you only know how to swing an axe, then just do that. Talking shows your stupidity.
Say that again, you little...
Enough, both of you. Isaac, Renard, at its very core, war should never be about glory. It's about protecting what's important to us. And that's the realm and all of its people. The essence of knighthood is to protect, not to harm. That's what Lord Uncle has taught me.
Fine.
We should get back. Lord General needs to know about this. I shall be in agreement. Let us return with haste and report this to Sir Arthur. Though the prospect of climbing down this hill entertains me not the least. Yeah, I guess, but we're actually going to climb down the thing. Oh, it just occurred to me. That was the wolf we fought previously was just the alpha wolf. The actual big wolf had a given name, a proper name. So we shall see.
Maybe we'll end up with an actual choice.
That's... Yep. Blammer. actually shatter on that one. Then hopefully Renard can bring them home. Yeah. That was an interesting conversation. It's unfortunately rare that medieval fantasy goes through those conversations. Because ultimately, it is the officers and nobles who get the glory, and the part of the common soldier is to, well, do and die, not to question why. Renard is very emblematic of this fetishization of death, of this sort of death cult that plagues military or militant societies. Finland is in no way exempt from this. Quite the opposite, really. We have very much a tendency to idolize the dead. One of the symptoms of fascism. By the way, if you've... I highly recommend reading Umberto Eco's article on Urfascism. Because he grew up in Mussolini's Italy. And was actually in the fascist youth. So he has an interesting perspective on the thing. And later on, of course, the very pronouncedly anti-fascist. But he made a very interesting analysis that seems to be remain the sort of number one as an analysis of the phenomenon. These sorts of games are actually part of the problem with that death cult, because it has to do very much with heroism and every individual trying to be a legendary hero. Everyone should be Captain America. To sacrifice for the greater good. But the thing is that the greater good seems to be defined by the great and powerful. Spadam. Fairy dust. Huh. Only Renard ended up blinded. Peacekeeper, early protection, early worm. What's the early worm? On the first 4 turns each battle, Isaac gains attack bonus. Afterward, Isaac suffers attack penalty. Would be really nice to know how big that penalty is and the bonus. Would be really nice. Dun, dun, dun. I haven't been using those abilities much anyway, so well, let's take the early worm. The early worm special. And then at the beginning of battle, all allies gain shield. Negates the next one attack or up to half maximum HP. Caregiver would increase the amount of heal from allies. It's not the first attack that worries me. It's the second or third, because that might be like something that they use stamina on. So I'll leave it for now. No, wait a minute. Peacekeeper. 100% success rate to run from battle. No, we don't do that. Why would we do that? First attack. Ooh, over 1,000 points with burst attack. Whammo. Magenta crystal and honey and fairy dust. Yeah, let's just head away. Go away. Lots of fights in this forest. Especially now that we have to make our way back. Bloody hell, I've been streaming for 2 hours. Yeah, a break might be in order. Or maybe actually, maybe even some sleep at some point. But I haven't talked that much politics. I'll need to do some of that just to get it out of my system. It's been stewing inside over the Christmas period now, so gotta do some of that. Well, when we end up interacting with the nobles back at the camp, I'm sure there will be topics. Discussions will be had. I hardly ever use rage. Okay, save. It's been rather dull, so let's just save over that one. Dun, 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 back to the war camp. Let's see. How did it go, squads? Were you able to spot the Enders? We did. They were marching in the White Rock Hills from the coasts of World's End.
Did you count their numbers? How many were there?
They were a bit too far for us to count, but Ilian could spot them well. Ili saw more than 100 back there. And that's not all of them. The Enders kept marching out from the coasts. All of them might be twice or thrice what she saw.
What? But that means 200 to 300 of those brutes? I thought the Durandals are guarding White Rock. How did they pour through? This is not good. Not good at all. You've done well, squires. I'll inform the Lord General about this. He would like to see you, I bet. A battle is coming very, very soon.
Getting those experience points to the next level. Renard unlocks Slow Burn. Lucian unlocks Shield Mastery. Ilian unlocks Purity. Okay, before I forget, I'll see what those do. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun. I'm never giving up Nature's Blessing. That's so good. Immunity to poison and bleed. Yeah. So let's see. Slow Burn. Renard enters battle with HP penalty. Starting from 5th turn each battle, Renard gains bonus damage. Okay, how much is the... 730. Okay. About a 10% penalty. Not that useful. Because if we have penalties in the early match, then we'll easily end up not having a match that far down the line. Okay, let's see. Shield Mastery. A small chance to completely block an attack. Yeah, I'm fine with those. Yeah. So, I suspect that if we go and talk to the generals, we'll end up in the next leg of the journey. Did I visit this one yet? Everyone's off doing their thing. Oh, actually, before I forget, I'll have to sell off those. No, this one only doesn't allow me to sell. Okay. Let's see if I can sell stuff here. Yes. Yeah. Sell both shirts and the wooden plate. So now I can actually afford some upgrades. Don't need those. It has been a pleasant business. If you need anything else, please don't hesitate to come back. Let's see. Lockbow. What would we want to... We can upgrade at least 2 weapons. Apparently, judging by our money, by the livre, we can do 3 upgrades. Oh, I'd forgotten entirely about Ilian's weapon bonus. Oopsie. Okay. Huh? Can't improve my cookery. Don't have steel. I'm not actually that sure if upgrading the weapons is that useful. Maybe I want to upgrade something. So let's upgrade the Voulge. Celestian has been has gotten very little attention recently. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. Save. And that was the cleric. The clerical tent. Haven't peeked inside these actually. Ooh! And here we're gonna find a new pole weapon. Okay, that's for Renard probably. Okay, let's compare. Ooh, that's a lot of attack. Seems like his kind of weapon. Yeah, but now let's see if... No, that tent is guarded. Won't let me through. And this one we already visited. With no results. Ah. Has anyone else been having problems with Twitch chat? Umbra is having some problems. I typed in test. I'm not sure if... Actually, my... We don't have that many... Umbra isn't showing up in as a user in chat. Interesting. Oh, a thing I wanted to revisit was this tent, actually, from last time. Oh, hello there. Are you looking for something? These supplies are for the army. You're part of it, so please do take what you need. Okay, so here we have a supplies tent. You can take whatever you need. Actually, I don't know of armies that actually work like that. That you could actually take whatever you want. You can ask for things and then you may be given them. Probably not. But yeah, here we have food and so on, so forth. Various goods. Martinova, but I could still watch this one? What do you mean? Anywho, yeah, you've got your tent and the and so on, but you also have your merchants. So, think about it. The stuff these merchants, or the smith and the other person have in their tents, all their stock. Ah, okay. Half of Martinov's messages didn't show up in chat. Chat has been very naughty. Well, not the people in chat. Actually, the people in chat have been unusually non-naughty, and I'm sort of disappointed in you. Okay. I wonder if it has something to do with me not actually having clicked chat until I checked the thing. Okay, now Umbra is showing up again. Weird. Very unusual. I've had a similar problem myself at times. But yeah, it's wartime. It's been they make a very big deal of it being an emergency, and everyone should chip in and put their lives on the line, give it their all. Except for these, okay, maybe not the smith, because we don't know if the smith has any actual stock. In the game mechanics, Edith the smith there doesn't have anything to sell. She can only upgrade. Okay, fine. But this one, Sasha. Hello, squires. My name is Sasha, and I am the army's equipment requisitioner. I offer items better than standard issue ones for those concerned with their safety. For a price. For a price. Like, during wartime, it's difficult to be naughty if you can't get anything through. Well, I will trust that everything, like, the 50% that hasn't gone through has been all the naughty bits. That you've written some very juicy fanfic in Camille's name. But yeah. Oh, I hope Twitch isn't censoring your naughty bits. But yeah. Sasha, the requisitions officer, or whoever they may be, is hoarding a lot of equipment available only for cash. Okay, now, having a quartermaster who keeps stock and make sure that everything is where it should be, that the people who need things have things. That's a viable role. That makes sense. So that the army doesn't lose all its resources. That they know where everything is. But charging a price is very interesting. And I'm not going to doubt the veracity of this. It's a bit of world building, and I think it's rather smart. If okay, from a game design perspective, or like rather world building perspective, and in a sense, game design as well. They wanted to have the traditional store where you could spend the gold or money units that you've gathered, all the various loot, because otherwise all the loot wouldn't matter. If you couldn't spend it on anything, it wouldn't matter, and it would make a lot of the fights and so on fruitless. Would reduce their value. So it makes perfect sense. And in the world, in the game world, it's been justified early on when they talked about the crystals. That the crystals are only available to those with proper status and resources. So it makes actual sense in the world that the quartermaster would be a store, that it would work on according to a capitalist logic. That it's the free marketplace of war. Because in this world, it's obviously considered that having resources means that you have the worth to be properly equipped. So yeah, it makes perfect sense, and I really do appreciate the fact that they've figured out an explanation for this, because most games don't. Most games don't have this explanation. They don't have this attention to detail. So yeah, excellent. And now from a let us say political perspective, this is way too realistic, of course. It is actually makes sense in our world to impose this system, because we have a very, very similar idea of things that, okay, all this equipment that Sasha has would be something that would be needed in battle or in other activities of the army. But instead of being in use and being distributed among, for instance, the common soldiers, where they could do a lot of good, instead they are being hoarded so that only the nobles have access. Because we come to this discussion that the characters had about the worth of the common soldier. Obviously, the common soldier has really no worth. They haven't established their worth because they don't have status or resources. So they do not, therefore, deserve to have a proper chance of a winning, of a living, of surviving battle, and they don't. They're not afforded the opportunity to win in battle, gain that glory that Renard really thirsts for, and takes it as a given. They have poorer equipment. They simply don't have the resources to kick ass. Like, look at it. Even like leather armor. Leather armor and chainmail. This is worse shit than anyone in our party of squires is wearing. And the price is 500 livre. We have only 130 livre. And it would be a downgrade. Now, if this is the equipment that is available for nobles and the really rich, what do the common soldiers have? okay, they would have our what we. Well, it's sort of safe to assume that they would have the shirts and wooden plate armor that we started with, because judging by the graphics, that's what they're wearing. Something similar. Their survivability is shit. They have no hope of having any of this stuff that would really make a difference. They're cannon fodder. What Reynard takes as a given, being having the Hunter's Hide, the Worn-Out Gauntlet, the Great Axe, the common soldier doesn't have. Will never have. Because even if they survive the battle, they don't gain anything. They may gain a bit of renown from their peers, the other commoners, but the nobles will never make them rich for it. At the most, they would have a leather armor or a chainmail from that store for the next battle. And that's not gonna make a difference. The chances of surviving aren't that good anyway. But yeah, so the only way you can survive and thrive in a battle is to be properly equipped. To be properly equipped, you need to be considered worthy of proper equipment, and that doesn't happen unless you have status or resources. So if you have neither status nor resources, you're basically fucked. It's very realistic and historical. Both the fact that that you need resources, that you sort of need work experience to get a job, which is really fucked up. Where every single job opening wants you to have previous experience, and that's just silly. You have to start somewhere. But also that your worth simply isn't that much if you don't have a name, and if you don't have gold. Because it's funny how the people who have inherited millions and just keep them invested in the stock market actually have put them in a bank where a person who is trained in investing invests them for you, and you can completely forget about them. Can forget about the money, and it keeps making more money. How does it keep making that money? Well, because there are those poor bastards that don't have resources, that have to work for a living, and will have part, if not most, of the value they add with their work kept from them. But yeah, wage slavery. A beautiful thing. Oh, actually, I just noticed that my face is in front of the of the equipment window. Oopsie. Let's see if I can. I'll make a little switcheroo. Ooh. There we go. Now. Yeah. You start with internships, which often means no pay. Yeah. Not only is it no pay, but also no rights. And you're basically sacrificing yourself at the altar of wage slavery. Not even wage slavery, it's just the altar of capitalism. That 100% of the value your work, your labor adds to the company's products or services is profit. That you have to give 100% profit to the company for the luxury of getting a job eventually. That then will have much of its worth kept from you and turned into a profit for the owners. And the thing about internships is that they should end up with you having an actual regular job at the company. That it shouldn't be you just donating your labor. But that's not the way it works, because of course the owners do their utmost to get the maximum profit. And why wouldn't they? If they can just string interns one after another, why wouldn't they do that? Why would they? What possible incentive would they have to hire someone to do that job? Because okay, Dalexi, yes, I can see your comment. So hopefully it does. Yeah, indeed. But yeah, stringing internships one after another only makes sense. Because with a large reserve of labor, the unemployed, when there are lots of unemployed people, you can always keep the paid workers in line and tread on them, because they're afraid that because all they can do really is to resign, and that just means that they'll get replaced, probably by an intern. So that's a win for the company. The house always wins, basically. But yeah, the ideal world for companies would of course be, capitalist companies would be interns all the way down. That people will just work for free. Dalexis says, your earlier topic reminds me of a Saturday morning breakfast cereal comic about working class goblins who have no access to the means of destruction. Yeah. Precisely. Well, I haven't checked out SMBC for a very long time. I used to read it faithfully. But then it just sort of... I slipped out of webcomics at some point. I'm not sure why. but I haven't read them regularly. I used to have a long this folder on my browser that I just clicked and it opened up 24 webcomics. But there's good stuff. Actually, I've been reading existential comics. Now that it features various philosophers. Yeah, exactly the sort of thing I'd like. But yeah, there's a lot to unpack in this thing. It's I found it interesting here in Finland. The Left Alliance mentioned, or at least the Andersson, the chair of the party, said that that Finland should invest in public sector jobs, that we should employ, that the state should employ as many people as possible for climate work, reforestation, like maintaining swamps, whatever work is required, and that it should be the barrier to entry should be very low. It would improve employment and it would fight against climate change and all that good stuff. But it was strongly objected to by the bourgeois parties, by the centrists and the right wing. Of course, since it was proposed by the Left Alliance, of course every other party pretty much objected to it. But specifically, they had the usual objections, that too expensive. Who's going to pay for it? Well, taxes would pay for it. Even if we didn't raise the taxes, having those people, all those people that otherwise would just be on unemployment, work and get a wage that is taxable, it can actually, because then they'll, not only is it taxable income, but then they'll actually use that money on goods and services that they need to live, because they're fucking human beings and not companies that can merely survive in a drawer somewhere. And that would stimulate the economy, because the goods and services would have to come from somewhere. Even the private sector would benefit. But that apparently that wealth should only trickle down. Apparently, is the right wing way. It is actually trickle up economics very much, because ultimately that money would end up in the pockets of major owners who just hoard it. Nothing ever gets done with it. But yeah, that would also get a lot of work done, which unemployed people do not do, really, because they can't. Because if they work, then they don't. Then how do you get unemployment if you work? Then you'll probably get kicked out of it, and so on. Yeah. These sort of plans have been proposed all over the place. Like Bernie Sanders, for instance, proposed pretty much this. That full an employment guarantee by the state. That the government would guarantee everyone a job working against climate change. but it never really goes anywhere. Because, okay, one thing there is that if it's the government doing it, that lessens the power of big companies, and it also doesn't make as much profit. Make no mistake, the big companies would profit. The thing is that they wouldn't profit as much compared to a situation where they have control over the job market, over the labor market. Because without this large reserve of labor, the unemployed, who are increasingly numerous and increasingly desperate, the big companies would have to have to compete for labor. That would mean that they would actually have to increase wages. They'd have to improve working conditions, and we can't have that. So the more unemployed you have, the more power the big companies have in the labor market. Or employers in general, really. That's not really... It doesn't matter what size you are. The power dynamic doesn't change. Even small companies and like tiny companies, they still have a considerable amount of power there compared to the laborers or to workers. That's why capitalism cannot solve unemployment, because to capitalism, unemployment is not a problem. To capitalism, unemployment is a desirable state of affairs. And the same with homelessness and so on, because capitalism is founded on the idea of preventing people from getting goods and services. No, Martinovo, none of us likes the idea there will always be poverty, but capitalism, or like any competitive system, requires losers. It is any system that is based on exploitation requires that there are people who lose out, and that means poverty. And it's like, I don't expect like social democracy to heal this. That we have welfare programs that alleviate the worst of capitalism, the worst effects of capitalism. That we have unemployment benefits, and we have other mechanisms, that prevent people from going really hungry. Because those systems are not there to enfranchise these people. Welfare isn't there to make the hungry powerful. Welfare is there to make sure that the hungry do not eat the rich. That's what it is there to do. Because if society wanted to have an economics that is actually just and actually fair and actually humane, we'd get rid of capitalism altogether. welfare and the welfare state simply does not do the job. It's there to just sort of, help out the rich from getting their due. I ended up on a rant against social democracy last time as well. Like, okay, make no mistake, like, social democracy is, like, less unpleasant than the full-on, balls-to-the-wall, uninhibited capitalism that would ensue. It is better for the individual. I'm not convinced that it's better for the society as a whole, because if you think of society as an organism, as a person, that person has a cancer, a metastasized cancer in the form of capitalism. And instead of fighting the cancer and removing it, the suffering gets prolonged by all the radiation treatments and medications, whatnot. Then it sort of gets hazy. At what point is the palliative, the painkiller, just prolonging suffering? Because capitalism feeds on itself. It tries to destroy itself. It is an organism, much like cancer, that tries to destroy its host. It's really fucked up. But yeah, capitalism is inherently unstable. Let's see. Nothing in chat for a while. I'm worried that are you still there? I just hope it doesn't. I'll just put in something just in case it is a matter of me being passive in chat and it fucks up because of that. But anyway, yeah. Capitalism is inherently unstable. It is inherently destructive because it is based on the oppression and repression of people by those who do nothing to contribute to society. Like a cancer, it doesn't do anything good for you, but it does take a shitload of resources. And it will keep doing that uncontrollably until the host body dies. In case of capitalism, it would be until the planet can no longer sustain the devouring beast. Because finite resources cannot withstand or sustain infinite growth. So yeah, it's depressing as fuck, but there it is. A lot of the post-apocalyptic settings that we have in media are based on this scenario where where capitalism has destroyed its host. And then, yeah, that's the apocalypse. And something comes from that. Unfortunately, in much of post-apocalyptic media, the authors rarely see beyond capitalism. And it tends to be this anarcho-capitalist hellscape where everyone is still devouring each other. And it just doesn't make sense, because mutual aid is the thing that really holds us up. And we know this. We know this from our personal experience. That's how the family works. Anything in a family that functions properly functions because of mutual aid. But that's just something that the unrealistic utopian soft people say, that do not understand the harsh realities of life. Of course, the harsh realities of life are created by those who believe in harsh realities of life, and not only believe in them, they wallow in them, and they really do their utmost to spread that filth all over the place. Yeah. Oh, that was a good rant. I think I'll leave it here. Any comments, requests, thoughts? Now's the time. So I'm gonna save the game and not that anything happened. I'll just create a new save just in case. There we go. Yeah, this was fun. Sort of a spontaneous little bit of play. It's nice that you enjoyed my rant. It's nice to have an audience. Because, like, this is what I do in the lonely hours of the night. These are the discussions that I have with myself, so it's nice to have someone to... to be honest, the fighting got a bit monotonous, but the rant made up for it. Thank you very much. I'll have to rant more during the fights, because it did get... I got bored very, very badly. But then I'm sort of afraid that if I lose focus on the fight, that I'll lose the fight, and that'll slow it down even further. But yeah, glad you enjoyed it. Hopefully we'll get less monotonous fights in the future. Okay, the fights will probably be monotonous. I do remember that they got a lot more difficult at hereabouts. But that might mean that they're also more interesting. Thank you, Samigulan. Nice to hear from you as well. It's been a while. But yeah, I wish everyone a good New Year's. And let's hope that the coming year will be better than this one. Because the year 2020 has really outperformed itself. Cyberpunk 2020 has nothing on what we have going right here, right now. It's a bloody utopia in comparison. Oh, goodness, how are you still up? Sami Kyllönen. That's weird. At this time of night, but then again, it's New Year's. In less than 24 hours, so I guess it's good to acclimate. But yeah, thanks very much to everyone for the for your contributions in chat and for being there to listen to me rant about things. Now I'll go eat something and then have a bit of a lie down, take it easy, maybe sleep better because of the stream. Good night, everyone. Oh, I almost forgot to advertise things. Let's see. Ropehiran Kolo is still there. My Finnish ramblings about tabletop role-playing games. youtube.com/Ropehiran Kolo. There's a lot more political stuff in Finnish at Punatulkut. youtube.com/Punatulkut. And then, let's see, what else do we have? Noppatuuri. Finnish language. Tabletop role-playing game stream is on break, but will return in January. Our schedule is a bit in the air at the moment because schedules change usually in January, so we have to reschedule everything, and hopefully we'll be able to maintain sort of a Thursday-Sunday arrangement, or Wednesday-Sunday, something like that. We'll see. But yeah, anything else? Let's see if we can raid someone. Not that I notice. None of the people I follow are online at the moment, or at least not streaming. Ongolainen is online, but not streaming anything. Oh well. Sami's playing Dragon Age Inquisition. It is a pretty game, I must say. But yeah, I'll sign off. You can find these the recordings of these streams on my personal YouTube channel, Muadmouse. Eventually, they'll show up there. But yeah, for now, I wish you a good night. And a very, very happy New Year. Toodles.